Welcome back to another episode of Mushoku Tensei Season 2. So in the previous episode we had a toughie. We had a toughie because Paul ended up dying and we could see it coming, right? We were talking about it, how many death flags there were. It still hit pretty damn hard. Paul ended up dying in the fight against the Hydra, right? And it was also in a moment where he kind of like nudged Rudius out of the way, so he kind of jumped in front of Rudius so that Rudius didn't end up getting chopped in half, but Paul did. So I'm sure Rudius is gonna be blaming himself for it, even though, as I said in the previous episode, I think Rudius has nothing to blame himself for, alright? I think he contributed greatly to the entire expedition and stuff, but I'm sure, obviously, you can't really look at it in that way when you're part of it, when something like this happens in front of your eyes. So I'm sure he's going to be going through a lot. And not only that, as if that wasn't enough, it seems like also Zenith, who has woken up right from her slumber, it seems like she has some form of brain damage as well, which is just so sad. After everything that they've gone through, after losing Paul, she now wakes up like this. I'm sure he's gonna take care of her, and she is still at least alive, but it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. I'm so worried for Rudy. I don't know how he's going to take this entire thing, but I guess we'll find out right in these episodes here. So, another thing, before we go into the episode, as I said in the previous episode, make sure to leave recommendations down in the comments for what's going to be replacing this on the channel. So, make sure to leave your guys' recommendations down there. But anyways, let's just go. Oh, if you want to watch this, Ankatana Blur, this was on page in the description. And let's go into Mushoku Tensei Season 2, Episode 23. Oh, frick. Oh, no. Yo, this is going to be a painful episode. No, don't start with this. They were. They were. That's how he feels. That's so sad. I forgot to listen to the opening in the previous episode, didn't I? There's not going to be an opening in this one. I'm going to check it out after this episode. If I remember. You can see the cheeks being caved in as well. He hasn't been eating. Uh-oh.
師匠は父さんも母さんも元気じゃないですか。
そうですね。最後に会ったのは数年前ですが、どちらも元気。
さあ、わかんないですよ。軽々しくわかるなんて言うなよ。気づいたんだ。やり直した気になって、うまくやれている気になって。でも、大切な部分からは目を背けていたことに。家族との確執から目を背けて、また取り返しのつかない失敗を繰り返して。
It's big that you acknowledge that, Rudy. Poor thing.
でも結局、何も変わっていなかったんだ。
上野村での生活は本当に幸せでした。ルディはとても才能にあふれていましたし、パウロさんもゼニスさんも温かく接してくれました。あなたたちが私に家族の温かみを教えてくれたんです。私にとってパウロさんたちは第二の家族です。だから、あなたと悲しみを分かち合いたいんです。ルディ。私は小さくて至らない師匠ですが、ルディよりも長く生きている分だけ頑丈です。持たれてくださっても構いません。辛いことでも二人で分ければきっと薄くなります。ルディ。
Rudy? Oh, fuck, it's gonna be so hard, though. He's not in a mental state.
大丈夫。
Oh, no.
今は私に
Oh,
任せてくださ
no.
い。
And she doesn't know either. Oh, Rudy. No! Fuck! She doesn't know. She doesn't know. She genuinely is trying to alleviate his pain. She genuinely is trying to help him out, trying to give him, you know, the affirmation that he might need. And he is. He's already, like, just trying to find any kind of, like. How can he find any kind of, like, strength to say anything back? Right, after everything that has happened, he should, obviously, right, looking at it objectively, he should. He has a wife at home who has been nothing but faithful to him, right? He promised her that he's gonna be faithful to her. He should say no, obviously. It's easy to say that, though, right? When he's in this kind of state, he's already so detached from everything because of everything that he's been feeling, everything that he's been thinking about, and he's trying to find any kind of strength to just find a way to live through this entire thing. Where is he gonna find the strength to do anything else? To say no? He should, obviously. Morally speaking, he should. It's hard, though.
おはようございます。
少しは気が晴れましたか？
はい。
What?
師匠、一つ変なことを聞いてもいいですか？
はい。
僕はこれからどうすればいいでしょうか？
今、目の前にいる家族を大事にするしかないでしょう。パウロさんだってルディにはそれを望んでいるはずです。前を向いてください。みんな待っていますから。
はい。
They're all waiting for you?
師匠、ありがとうございました。
はい。
ロキシ、あなた。
ルディ、申し訳ありませんが、私はエリナリーゼさんと話があるので、リーリャさんのところには一人で行ってください。
わかりました。
What the Okay, I'm gonna need to see how this plays out. Oh. This is gonna be so tough.
リーリャさん、
Ah.
何でしょうか、ルーデウス様。すみません。母さんの世話を押し付けてしまって。いいえ、これが私の仕事です。母さんの様子はどうですか？記憶はないようですが、不思議と体の方は健康です。変な後遺症もありません。そうですか。ということは、記憶を失っているだけで、精神が完全に死んだわけではない。
She's not damaged?
テラさんの見立てでは、魔力結晶に閉じ込められたことによる魔力的な弊害だろうと。治るんでしょうか。エリナ・リーゼ様の話によると、無理とのことです。
Oh.
私は奥様にはよくしていただきました。旦那様がお亡くなりになった以上、私が奥様の面倒を見ます。俺もできることをするつもりです。必要ありません。ルーデウス様、差し出がましいとは思いますが、少しだけ失礼な物言いを許していただいてもよろしいでしょうか。はい。あなたは自分のやるべきことをなさい。やるべきことですか。旦那様もそうおっしゃるでしょう。奥様のお世話は私がすべきことです。そのために私は今ここにいます。帰りましょう。家族のところへ。
So surely at this point Roxy knows about it, right? She's talked to Elena Lise as well. I find it so strange how they handled the entire situation between Roxy and Rudy. I get why it happened and how it happened. I find it so strange how it was handled. Both from Rudy's side and Roxy's side now that she surely knows about it. About Sylphie. If I was Roxy in that moment, and I would feel so bad if I was Roxy in that moment, didn't know about anything, like went in, like slept with Rudy and all those things, went out and thought, okay, hopefully, you know, at least he feels a bit better and stuff. And then I found out that he has a family at home. I would just feel like I took advantage of him, right? I would feel horrible. I would feel like I took advantage of a man who's at his lowest, who he didn't have the strength to say no, and basically forced them into it, right? I would feel so bad. But then Rudy has also said he feels better after it. I don't know. We'll see. You can't do anything until you talk to Sylphie. That's 100% true. You've already done way too much, but we talked about that. Whoa!
ディが気に病むことはありません。私はルディが弱っているところにつけ込んだだけです。私がやったことなのです。本来なら、私みたいなのを相手にしてくれないのは分かっています。
そんなことを。
I mean, that's sexual assault. That's just sexual assault. She took advantage of him when he couldn't say no. That was not a consenting kind of situation whatsoever. That's sexual assault from her. That is weird.
ダサい。私がルディの左手となるのは、この旅の間だけです。ルディはあちらに戻ったら、奥さんを大事にしてあげてください。
せめて何か恩返しをさせてくれませんか？
恩返しですか？
はい。俺にできることなら何でもします。
じゃあ言い訳を聞いてもらってもいいですか？
言い訳ですか？
聞くだけでいいですから。
はい。わかりました。
私、一目惚れだったんですよ。
Okay.
ですか？
ルディにです。迷宮で助けてもらったとき
Oh, I thought when he was a kid, I was like, ma'am?
あの場面では、
Okay.
私でなくてもドキッとしてしまいますよ。私の理想そのままでした。迷宮を探索している時も、ルディの顔ばっかり見ていました。
目をそらされてましたけど。
それは、だって恥ずかしいじゃないですか。ダメだとは思っていたんです。エリナリーゼさんやギースさんも、ルディなら自力で立ち直るって言ってました。けど、ブエナ村で暮らしていた頃を思い出して。
He's not the same guy, though.
いや、もちろんルディには愛する人がいるって聞きましたし、きっとルディが落ち込んでも、その人が立ち直らせてくれるんでしょう。でも、その人は今ここにいないじゃないですか。
Don't do this, Roxy.
誰かが助けてあげないとって
Don't do this.
思うじゃないですか。でも、エリナリーゼさんもギースさんも放っておくつもりで、リーリャさんはゼニスさんにつきっきりで手が離せなくて。じゃあ、私がするしかって思うじゃないですか。だって仕方ないじゃないですか。好きなんですもん。ひどいですよ。あんまりですよ。
師匠。
何ですか？
せめてこの旅の間だけでも。それでどうするんだ？何の解決にもなっていない。俺のためにもロキシーのためにも。
やめてください。そういうの
Oh,
は。
no, this is over the line.
必要ありません。
わかりました。
Look, okay, Jesus fucking Christ, what an onion alert! Onion alert! This is layered. Okay, holy shit. So, whew, okay, so where do we begin? I don't mind Rudy falling for another person, right? I think that is something that happens. You see relationships where someone falls in love with while they're in a relationship and they can love the other person and they fall in love with a different person. Usually in, most places, most couples, the person, when they fall in love with a different person, they end up falling out of love with the initial person or something along those lines, right? And so you break up with the person, you talk to them, about it, and you move on. It is a thing that happens, right? It's not going to be a pleasant experience, obviously, especially for the other person, but it's a thing that happens. Rudy fell in love with two people. Okay, happens. I don't mind that. What the fuck happened? I was giving Roxy a benefit of the doubt. I think if he talks to Sylphie, obviously, I think her number one priority, I don't know, I find it so strange. Her number one priority was, oh, I need to calm him down with my body, even though I know he is married, he has a child on the way. I need to calm him down with my body, not like, okay, let me try to talk to him a bit and at least get him to the point where we can get him back home, right? So that he can talk to his family and then go about it. Because she did, I mean, she admitted that she took advantage of him. That is sexual assault, right? I'm trying to avoid the word because YouTube doesn't like it, but you know what I'm trying to say here. And it is that it's what I really hate the entire justification that Roxy laid out there. I'm in love with you, so what could I have done? I can't see you like this. And she's not here either to comfort you, Sylphie. But I'm here. Oh, he's keeping it secret because of Nanahoshi.
ここはシャリアの近くにある森です。
信じられん。本当に北方大地まで来たのか。どうりで先輩がラパンに来るのは早かったわけだ。
くれぐれも他言無用でお願いしますね。
あいよ。
では、俺とエリナリーゼさんで先導します。
Okay, Annalise, do you have anything to say about this situation?
はい。あなた、ミリス京都ではありませんでしたわよね。違います。シルフィもミリス京都ではありませんわ
Nope.
ね。そのはずです。私のクリフは敬虔なミリス京都ですわ。知ってます？ミリス京都というのは妻を一人しかめとってはいけないという決まりがあるんですのよ。その妻を生涯かけて愛しなさいという少々堅苦しいけれど実際に愛される側に回ってみる
Yeah,
と
it's similar to like Christian beliefs.
けれどルーデウス私は別に複数の相手を
That's what I said earlier. It just needs to be a mutual agreement. I said that multiple times.
エリナリーゼさんさっきから何が言いたいんですかルーデウスロキシーをめとりなさいな
Whoa! First talk to Sylphie about it.
で言ってるんですか
If she's not for it, then no.
私が言いますわ私でないと言えませんもの正直今のロキシーは見ていられませんわ
So you want him to marry her out of
本
pity?
当はあなたに甘えたいのに身を引くつもりですのよ自分の会うタイミングが悪かったというだけで
Yeah, that's how life works, ma'am.
控えめでも
That's life.
ロキシーには幸せになってほしいんですのいや俺はシルフィーとロキシーのことはどうしたいんですの幸せになってほしいですよできることなら俺がロキシーもシルフィーも幸せにしたいでも
虫のいい話だ。シルフィーと結婚して子供まで作って、それでいて別の女も欲しいなんて。俺が今まで散々パウロをクズだと言ってきておいて、あいつと同じようなことをしたいと考えている。
思い出してごらんなさいパウロがリーリアをめとった後ゼニスは不幸になりましたか
No, you're not gonna say that was fine. He betrayed her trust so hard. It was out of the goodness of her heart that she forgave him. He completely betrayed her trust.
最初母さんは泣いていましたけどねそれくらいは仕方ありませんわあなたならできますわシルフィーとロキシーを同じぐらい愛することが
Once again, it has to be mutual from Sylphie. That's the most important thing.
解消があるはずですわよ
二人が好きだという気持ちに偽りはない。だが旅先でこんなことになって、シルフィーに幻滅されるだろう。ロキシーだって自分だけを愛してほしいかもしれない。二人に見放されて、また一人になるかもしれない。
Then that's life.
それでも俺は二人を幸せにしたい。
That's life. Sometimes that's how it goes.
俺がそうしたいからといって師匠とシルフィーがイエスと言ってくれるかどうかはまた別の話でしょうじゃあ今ロキシーに聞いちゃいなさいな
Roxy's gonna be down for it. I think Sylphie would be down for it as well. I wonder how much Sylphie would be happy with it though. I think she would agree to it. I don't know how happy she would be because of it though. I don't know.
話というのは何でしょうか？
師匠にお話ししたいことがありまして。
はい。
師匠の教えに何度も助けられました。俺は師匠がいたからここまで生きてこられました。それでですね、俺にはもう妻がいます。シルフィエット・グレイラットという名前なのですが。
はい、お聞きしました。
何が言いたいんだ俺は。
妻はもともとは名字がなくてただのシルフィエットだったんです。
はい、そう聞いています。
そういうことじゃないだろ。もういい。後になってああしておけばというぐらいなら俺はクズでいい。
師匠もロキシー・グレイラットに名前を。
You're talking to her before Sophie.
愛しています。
そう言ってくださるのはとてもありがたいです。でも、奥さんの了承は取らなくても。
That's the biggest thing. That's the most important thing.
取らなきゃいけないです。
では、その後でもう一度聞かせてください。
Yo, actually, that's how you should play it. Yeah, 100%. Oh my goodness, what a stressful episode.
はい。なんだ、同じじゃん。
You're not the same. Nuh-uh. Uh, uh, I don't know. I don't know. I said I'm gonna check out the opening at the end of this episode, and I'm gonna do that later. I wanna yap about it right now. Okay, this was a stressful episode. Jesus Christ. Okay, man. What the fuck? Okay, what the fuck? So, okay, we had Roxy before anything happened between Roxy and Rudius. She found out that he has a family. Makes sense. I was wondering, like, surely someone has mentioned it at this point. And Elena-Lise, after Paul died, mentioned it to Roxy, right? She told him about his family, about his wife, about his child on the way. And then she was like, okay, he seems like he's really down. Like, he is not down for anything. He is feeling really down. Right? He's feeling really depressed, obviously, after everything that happened. I love him. And I know that he has, you know, that he's faithful to his wife and all those things, but I'm gonna sleep with him because I want to make him feel better. Which, first of all, and I know he can't say no because he won't say no because he's feeling this way, right? Which I think, and also, I hate the fact that she's basing her own, I guess, she's basing what she thinks is best for Rudius based on the Rudius that she knew 10 years ago when she was tutoring him, you know? She's like, oh, I know that on your own you're not gonna get better because I know how you are and all those things. I hate that because he has 180 as a person in so many aspects, right? He has changed so much. You can't base his current self, or sorry, you can't assume his current self based on the 5-year-old Rudy or whatever. That's fucking psychotic. Anyways, so she went in there, assaulted him, whatever, but he came out of it being positive and receptive about it, which is one thing that throws me off, because I was like, okay, if he's gonna wake up and be like, fuck, I giga fucked up, right? I would have been like, you know what? Yeah, you did, and you acknowledge it, right? You acknowledge that you giga fucked up here. And to be fair, he did acknowledge it. He did acknowledge it later, but he also enjoyed it. So I am so It's so tough. It's so tough. As I said, I don't think it's wrong for a person to fall in love with multiple people. I think it happens, right? Especially in societies that are more polygamous, in this world especially, right? Polygamy is a lot more widespread. So I think it happens, right? I think the initial thing is Rudy is the one who is in an established relationship and marriage. He is trying to bring in a new aspect to the relationship. Before he decides anything from that new aspect, before he goes for anything, before anything happens, he needs to let his wife know. Otherwise, it's breaching trust and it's cheating, right? It is cheating no matter what. If the wife doesn't know about it, it's breach of trust and it's cheating. That's why what happened with Zenith, it was breach of trust because Paul was trying to bring in a new element to the relationship, or you can say bring in new element of a relationship. If he wanted to genuinely pursue a polygamous relationship with Lilia and Zenith, he did not talk to Zenith about it beforehand. Therefore, it's cheating. No way around it, right? It's a breach of trust, right? And I mean, same thing here. I mean, it's tough. As I said, the situation itself is tough because I don't think Rudy was just in any kind of way to even say no. In that scenario, I think it is Roxy genuinely forcing herself on him, right? And taking advantage of his situation. I think me blaming Rudius would be victim blaming for it, but I think how Rudius dealt with the entire situation after it and how he was talking about it, that I don't really like. And I do think before he said anything to Roxy about it, I think genuinely, if he was like, look, Roxy, I have a wife, I have a kid, can we talk about everything that transpired after I talked to them first? I think that is the way to handle it. I think that's very reasonable. I think I would be like, you know what? I know you have feelings about this thing. I know you are chock full of like different emotions right now. You need some time to think them over, and you need some time to talk to your wife about it. And after you talk to your wife about it, you can talk to whoever else there is. So this was a strange episode. This was strange. This was stressful. This was really fucking stressful. I am holy shit. That was not the episode that I was expecting. But also on the other hand, I guess I did mention it in the previous episode, right? How I am worried how Rudy is going to tackle with this, and how it does kind of remind me of the entire Air situation back in season 1, right? Where she was also dealing with grief, and she handled that grief with physical affirmation and like physical contact and stuff. Also, one thing that I'm not really touching upon, because I don't think it's that big of a deal, probably in this world at least, because, you know, you have demons and elves that live for God knows how long. I didn't really touch upon it, but, I mean, Roxy did tutor Rudy when he was like 5 years old. It feels like a little bit weird when you know someone, you're an adult, you know someone when they're 5 years old, and then they grow up and then you sleep with them. That it's fine. In this world, I think it makes more sense because the species like, you know, long-living species like demons and elves exist. So whatever, right? Elena Liz is also sleeping with a bunch of like 15-year-olds, even though she's like over I don't know, a few hundred years old or whatever, or 100 years old or whatever she is. So whatever, it's this world's quirk. That's not something that's really on my mind that much. But yeah, anyways, we'll see where the fuck this is gonna go, this fucking nuclear development. I am curious to see how Sylphie is gonna handle this. I feel bad. I feel like Sylphie is one of those people that's going to agree to almost anything for Rudius's happiness, and I think she is willing to sacrifice her own happiness sometimes for it as well. I think that's unfortunate, but I can see her being like, okay, yeah, Rudy, if that's what you want, because she also already did say that, you know, if she can't get a child, if she can't get pregnant, then she's fine with him taking concubines, right? But I think an important thing here is, as far as I know, a concubine, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't a concubine someone who isn't necessarily like on the same level as your wife or whatever? They would be like someone who you have sex with for, like, you know, to have a child, a family, and something along those lines. It's not necessarily the same level as a second wife, right? I think so. Which I kind of feel like even that doesn't necessarily mean that Sylphie was down for Rudias to have multiple wives. I feel like having a wife and multiple concubines is different than that. Than in a general, like, polygamous relationship where everyone's equal. I don't know. That's how I feel about it. I feel bad. I feel like, yeah, as I said, I feel like Sylphie is going to accept it, but I don't know how much of that is going to come at her own suffering and her own unhappiness. I'm gonna give my full thoughts on the show, on the series, on everything at the end of this episode, as I always do at the end of the anime. But as I said, we don't have too much of a break until season 3 anyway, so that's gonna be hype. But yeah, anyways, I don't think there's much else to say. I'm very curious to see what they're gonna do here. So if you wanna watch this, Uncut Blur, this was on Patreon in the description. And let's go into Mushoku Tensei season 2, episode 24. Oh, are we back at Ranwa? We are, huh? Well, well, well. Sylphie, he wants to see Sylphie.
だがそれは後悔ではない。
Yeah, that's what I was saying in like 2 episodes ago. What would he be regretting? Oh, fuck. I was really hoping that was it. That was the end. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. What happened? What? Okay, I thought she got cut off. Is that Sylphie? Oh, oh, stop!
みんなよくしてくれたし、アイシャちゃんも頑張ってくれたから。
ノルはリニアやザラバ、クリフたちは無事か？
無事って何もないよ。
誰も病気とか怪我はしてないんだな。
特には。
そっか。
Oh, that was mean, man. That made me nervous. Because I was thinking the same thing.
おかえりなさい。
ただいま。
Oh. Oh no, this is gonna be. Oh wait. Oh wait. Oh no. Is this gonna be the regret? This might be the regret.
揃ったので話をしよう。
兄さん、お父さんは？
父さんはパウロ・グレーラットは死亡した。
Oh fuck, I forgot about that. I was talking about it as well, but there's so many things happened that I forgot about this. Like the breaking the news.
これがいいんだ。
Oh, the ashes.
なんで兄さんが言ったのに、なんでお父さんが死んじゃうんですか？
ごめん、俺の力不足だ。
だって兄さんなら
これから詳しく説明するから。
Poor Non.
以上がこれまでの顛末だ。
じゃあ、お父さんは助からず、お母さんも記憶が。
そうだ。
The question's in the air.
兄さんも頑張ったんですよね。
全力を尽くしたつもりだ。
なら、兄さんが頑張ってもダメだったんだ。誰がいても。きっと、どうしてもダメで、お父さん死んじゃって。
God. This is so rough. Oh man, this is rough. Did I forget to watch the opening in the previous episode again? I did. Fuck.
その剣、私が持っていてもいいですか？
ああ、そうだな。ノルンが持ってろ。でもむやみに使おうとするなよ。剣を持つということは、心の中にも一本の剣を持っておく必要があるんだ。
Is that what he said?
心を守るには、心構えが必要ってことだ。その剣を持っているからといって、自分が強くなったと勘違いしちゃいけないからな。
わかりました。
母さん。
Oh.
奥様。わからない。母さんにはこの家で一緒に暮らしてもらおうと思う。身の回りの世話なんかについてはリーリャさんに一任するつもりだ。けどみんなには細かいところで迷惑をかけると思う。
わかった。僕も頑張るよ。ということはお母様もここで暮らすんですか？
はい。ルーデウス様のお世話になるつもりです。
仕事の分担とかは
Oh.
するんでしょうか？
それは後で話しましょう。
はい。ねえ、アイシャ、私たちに遠慮することないよ。
Aww. Aww. I think she likes being responsible for the house, right? Aww. I'm happy that it didn't blow up to be more of a bigger outburst. I was worried that it was gonna go really badly.
今夜くらいうちに泊まっていただいても。
先輩、バカ言ってんじゃねえよ。
You have some big talks.
水いらずを邪魔するほど俺ら野暮じゃねえんだよ。
Roxy's staying over as well.
長い間父さんを手伝っていただきありがとうございました。
私たちこそあまり役立てず申し訳ありません。まだ町にはいるので、団長のお墓ができたら場所だけでも教えてください。
偉そう。白そう。
そんな新規臭い顔すんなよ先輩。 お主に礼を言われる筋合いはない。言われるならパウロからじゃな。
キエさん、タルハンドさん。
おいおい、らしくねえぜ。いつも通り、おい、新入りとでも言ってくれよ。
なんでそこまで新入りにこだわるんですか？
ジンクスだよ。
まったく、男どもはすぐにカッコつけたがりますわ。さて、私はクリフのところに行きますわ。エリナリーゼさん、お世話になりました。パウロのこと、すみませんでしたわ。いえ、あれは俺のパーティーの私の役割は、ああならないように立ち回ることでしたのよ。パウロが死んだのは、私のミスでもありますわ。俺は責めませんよ。誰もね。なら、自分も責めたらダメですわよ。はい。
うん。
シルフィー、ルーデウスはあなたのことを愛していますわ。はい。
じゃあ、またな、先輩。
シルフィー、大事な話がある。
あ
聞くよ。
あ。Oh, Non and Aisha are gonna be here for the talk.
俺はここにいるロキシーを二人目の妻として迎えようと思っている。
どういうこと？
父さんが死んで、悲しくて辛くて、もう生きることさえどうでもよくなって、そんな時に助けてくれたのがロキシーなんだ。ごめんシルフィー、ミサオを立てるって言ったのに、約束守れなかった。
お兄ちゃん。
シルフィー、許してほしい。
許せるわけないですわ。シルフィー姉さんがどんな気持ちで兄さんを待っていたか知ってて言ってるんですか？毎日、ルディは大丈夫かな？ルディに会いたいね。ルディも今頃ご飯食べてるかなって。寂しそうにしてたシルフィー姉さんの顔と声を知ってて言ってるんですか？父さんを助けられなかったのはしょうがないって思いました。左手も失って
That's why it's a breach of trust.
それぐらい厳しかったんだからしょうがないって。兄さんを責めることなんてできないって。それなのに、女の人を抱いて自分のものにする余裕はあったってことですか？
違う、そんな余裕はなかった。ロキシーはそんな俺を自分の気持ちを捨てて助けてくれたんだ。
シルフィー姉さんだってその場にいれば兄さんを助けたに決まってます。
お前だってわかるだろ。部屋に閉じこもって自分じゃどうしようもないと思った時の気持ちは。
Don't make
助けて
excuses.
くれた人をどうしてないがしろにできるんだ。
わかるけど、兄さんには感謝してます。
Rudy, don't make excuses.
これとは関係ありません。二人も妻をめとるなんてミリス様はお許しになりません。それに、なんでこんな小さい子なんですか？私とそんな変わらないぐらいじゃないですか。小さいかもしれませんが、これでも成人です。成人ならずうずうしいとか思わないんですか？ずかずかと入り込んできて悪いと思わないんですか？
ノル言い過ぎだ。ロキシーを妻に迎えるって言い出したのは俺なんだ。悪いのは俺で、ロキシーは悪くない。彼女は身を引こうとしてくれたんだ。
兄さんは黙っていてください。大体身を引こうとしたのなら、なんで最後までそうしようとしないんですか？結局兄さんの言葉に甘えただけでしょ。そうですね。ずうずうしいです。申し訳ありませんでした。
反対されることは分かっていた。だがロキシーに嫌な思いをさせたまま、ここを去られるわけにはいかない。彼女を幸せにするって決めたのに、どうすればいい？どうすれば。
待って。
Oh, Sylphie. Oh, Sylphie, you're way too nice. Oh.
待ってください。なんで引き止めるんですか、シルフィーネ。行かせればいいじゃないですか。ごめんね、ノルンちゃん。僕のために。でも大丈夫だから。ありがとう。
I 100% see where Non is coming from, by the way.
ロキシーさんはルディを助けてくれたんだよね。はい。でも下心もありましたので。
I do feel really bad for Sylphie.
下心なしでって言われても逆に信じられないよ。僕がロキシーさんの立場でもやっぱり同じことをしちゃうと思う。正直ね、僕は時間の問題だと思ってたんだ。ルディが別の女の人を連れてくるの。ほら、ルディってエッチでしょ。僕とできないときっと誰かとしちゃうだろうなって思ってたんだ。それにルディを見る顔ですぐに分かったよ。そっか、僕もあんな顔だったのかな。すみません、不快なものを見せてしまって。
I feel bad for her, man.
なんて言えばいいかな。ね、ロキシーさんのことはルディからいつも聞いてたんだ。なんと。俺の尊敬する魔術師はあの人だけだって。それはなんというか恐縮です。だからちょっと嫉妬してるところもあったんだ。本当にすごい人なんだろうなって。でも実際に見てルディが好きなだけの普通の女の子なんだって思ったら嫉妬なんて消えちゃったんだ。だって僕と一緒だもん。ノルンちゃんはああ言ったけど僕は歓迎します。
Okay. Okay. I mean, Sylphie is just the best person to ever exist.
ありがとうございます。
Sylphie is just an angel. She's like Jesus Christ, eh? She's crazy good. Oh man, I I find it so hard. I find it so hard to fully, you know, sympathize or know what to feel about this kind of situation, right? But I think obviously I really like what Sophie said. I think what Sophie said makes a lot of sense. She basically came into this. As long as she is being, like, she's saying the truth, it feels like she came into this relationship kind of prepared for something like this to happen. That doesn't excuse it happening from Rudius' side. I think Rudius fucked up, right? I think Rudius fucked up. I think Roxy also fucked up, right? Obviously, I think that is pretty obvious. But I don't mind this now happening the way that it is. I don't mind Sophie's explanation of it either. I also fully agree with Non. I think that is the obviously kind of like the obvious way to look at it. That's how I look at it as well. The way that Non is. But Non is also a follower of Millis, right? So I guess that makes more sense. At least I think she is. She was talking about how the goddess Millis wouldn't allow this and stuff. So yeah, it's a tough situation, man. I'll talk about it at the end a bit more.
いいよ別に。
They're cute. うん。
でも気持ちはちょっとわかるかな。大切な人が遠くで戦っているのに自分は待っているだけなんて辛いからさ。シルフィー、予 定日はいつなんですか？あと1ヶ月ちょっとかな。でもロキシー、本当にいいの？
What is he going to regret? That's what's bothering me.
いえ、正直シルフィーには申し訳ない気持ちが大きいので、出産まで待たせてください。
That's fair.
正式な妻になるのはその後で。そっか、ロキシーがそう言うなら。わかった。赤ちゃん、楽しみですね。早く会いたいな。生まれました。
シルフィー、お疲れ様。
What's the hair color?
おめでとうございます。
And what's the gender? Oh, blonde. Strong genes.
よかった。
Female.
緑じゃなくて。ルディも抱いてあげて。
What's the eye color? Is it green or red?
ルディの子だよ。
この子がシルフィーが産んでくれた
Oh, elf ears.
子供。
Aww. Oh, red eyes. Same as Annalise and Sylphie. Aww. Okay.
パウロ、
Hmm.
久しぶり。俺、父親になったよ。女の子だ。シルフィーの子供だし、きっと美人になるよ。父さんにも見せたかったな。父さんは死んじゃったけど、子供は生まれたよ。あの時俺を生かしてくれたから、俺は今子供を抱くことができるんだ。父さんがいなかったら、俺は。
Hmm.
名前はルーシーに決めた。
Lucy.
ルーシー
Okay.
と俺とシルフィーの頭文字を取ったんだ。
Sylphie.
だからロキシー師匠を妻に
Rudius. Lucy.
妻が2人。父さんと一緒だな。こういう時の心構えとか教えてほしかったよ。
Wait for the third one.
ギレーヌとかエリナリーゼと
あ
結婚しようって考えたりしたのかな。でも父さんだからな。あんまり考えてなさそう。俺もあんまり難しく考えない方がいいのかな。父さん、俺ダメな息子だったよ。前世の記憶とか持っててさ、ちゃんと息子として父さんと向き合えていなかった。けど今はもうパウロ・グレイラットの息子のつもりだから。
Hmm.
俺ようやく分かったよ。自分がまだまだ子供だったって。前世の記憶で大人ぶってただけのガキだって。子供も生まれて親にもなったし、すぐに大人にならなくちゃとは思うけど、きっともっとたくさん失敗して、いっぱい悩みながら、少しずつゆっくり変わっていかなきゃ大人にはなれないんだろうな。父さんもそうだったんだろう。俺、頑張るよ。父さんがそうしてくれたみたいに、父さんが残してくれたものを守るよ。じゃあ、また来る。今度はみんなを連れて。
いろんなことに一段落がついた。辛いこともあったし、嬉しいこともあった。
Whoa!
けれど、終わりじゃない。俺は
Her hair grew
ま
out.
だまだこの世界で生きていく。いつ死んでも後悔しないように。
Without
本
regrets?
気で。
Oh man, Zenith. Succession. That's it? That's actually the... Thank you for watching.
新たに生まれた大切なものを守るため
俺は
What the hell is this?
立ち向かう。
End card. Okay, I don't think that's anything. I did say I'm gonna watch the opening. Hopefully I remember to watch it after my full rant and my full thoughts on the show, because I still haven't seen the actual visuals of the opening. Anyways, first of all, before I give my full thoughts here, I wanna make a bit of a note here. It's completely possible that I missed some, either missed some stuff or that you guys gave more context in the comments about some of the things, because I know that the light novel has a lot more context on around like a lot of stuff that you guys let me know in the comments many times. But I will say I am quite far ahead on this show, because usually I hate being more than a week ahead on stuff, because I like reading comments and being up to date on what you guys are saying about it as well. But with this one, I kind of just couldn't stop myself from watching it, so I was kind of binging this show. But I'm gonna read the comments obviously before going into season 3 and stuff. But because I feel like there is definitely more context, because it doesn't feel like it feels off, you know. The entire situation feels a bit off. I feel like it wrapped up very nicely for Rudius and Roxy, where they didn't face any repercussions for some of the bad things that they've done, or some of the mistakes that they've done, because I definitely think that they have made mistakes. And usually, up until this point, everyone, like Rudius, has made many mistakes, but he's always paid for them, right? And I feel like here, it didn't feel like he really paid for some of the mistakes that he's made. It felt like he got off scot-free a bit. So maybe, I'm guessing I'm missing probably some context, because that doesn't feel like a Mushoku Tensei thing to do. So yeah, I just want to make a note that I haven't been able to read your guys' comments about it yet, so I'm giving my thoughts purely based off of what I've seen in the episodes here. So yeah, anyways, this was a crazy ending. Sylphie is, I'm pretty sure she's an angel who got thrown onto this earth accidentally. I think she is a goddess in disguise. She is the best person to ever exist. She's so sweet, so nice. I fully get where Norn's coming from, right? Even if you aren't a Millis, like part of the Millis religion or whatever, a follower of Millis, I think it would be a totally reasonable crash out to be like, this person cares about you so much, and they've always cared about you so much, and they, from what they know, they are faithful to you, and they think that you are faithful to them as well, and now you go and sleep with another woman. That is a breach of trust. It is. That is a scummy thing to do. It's a breach of trust. It's cheating, right? Which 100% is true, right? No matter what religion you follow, that is cheating if the other person doesn't, or the other party doesn't know about it or isn't consenting to it as well, right? So yeah, wow, but it all ended up working out well. I don't know what the regret is supposed to be. Like, are we gonna be seeing it in season 3? We probably will, actually. We probably will. Is he going to regret having multiple wives? Is that gonna be it? Because if he hadn't gone there, I don't think he would have gotten together with Roxy. Maybe he would eventually. But maybe he would have been way happy. But then he wouldn't regret it. Unless something, once again, unless something happens, right? Because he doesn't know what the other option would have been like, right? So it's not like he can regret something that he doesn't know what's like. So also, I wonder what's gonna happen with Persona and Linnea. Is that the names? He was talking about that. God, I hope that doesn't go into anything. I hope we ignore that as well, and then we're gonna see the rest of the man god. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. Yeah, okay. So that was interesting. I really like Norn, and Norn and Aisha are growing up really well. I was getting worried that maybe the entire thing here is gonna kind of pull apart the entire family, and that's gonna be the regret. But no, it ended up being all good, right? So we'll see. Also, we'll see. Lucia, right? Lucy, that's it, Lucy. I wonder what that's entire story is gonna be about, right? Rudy kind of raising a child. I am also pretty sure we saw Ares at the end of the episode here, right? I'm guessing in season 3 we might get to see a bit more of Ares. I wonder if Rudy is going to be expanding his, you know, his collection, I guess. His sword collection, as Paul would call it. But we'll see. Also, it does feel like Zenith is hopefully gonna be recovering, because she did show some emotional response to the entire to the arm guards and stuff. That was cool to see. That was very emotional. So yeah, I'm curious about that. But yeah, that's about it, about the entire thing here. I want to talk about this series as a whole, like Mushoku Tensei as a whole, not just this season, but the entirety of it. So if you guys were watching this from episode 1, then you probably know that I had many reservations. If you watch the intro to episode 1, I had many reservations about this show. I had a very negative preconceived notion of what this show is like going into it, because I watched it many years ago and I hated it. And not just that I disliked it, I really hated the show when I first watched it. And I thought, I don't want to watch it on video, because I didn't want to be negative, right? I don't want to watch something that I hate on video like this, on camera like this, and then just be negative all the time, because I feel like that's just not good content, right? So I didn't want to watch it. I was avoiding it for basically, it was recommended multiple times to me during, you know, doing this channel, but I always kind of like didn't want to watch it. But then in my Discord server, my mods pointed out a clip of me saying I haven't seen Mushoku Tensei yet, where it was me watching one of the Gigak videos or something, and I said, oh, I haven't seen Mushoku Tensei yet, offhandedly, and one of my mods pointed out, being like, wait, you haven't seen it yet? You have to watch it. Why haven't you seen it? And then we got into a bit of a discussion, and they kind of like convinced me into being like, you know what, let's reframe your mind and let's watch it again. You know, it's been like 5 years since we watched it. You're gonna feel different about it. And yeah, long and behold, it is now, I think, I'm gonna have to let this entire ending here sit, because this ending definitely feels a bit odd to me, but everything else in this show, not counting, or I guess even with this ending, and not counting season 3, obviously, that I haven't seen yet, I think this is probably my top 5 anime of all time, maybe? Top 10 definitely. It's gonna depend on season 3 as well, obviously. I don't know where season 3 is gonna go, but I think it is in my top 5, maybe top 10. As I said, this final 2 episodes here were wild, and I need to let them sit a bit and sink in, you know, but I think it is up there. I think Rudius's character progression has been just a treat to watch all this time. My favorite episodes, obviously episode 21 from season 1 was fantastic. The amount of lore that we got, obviously the animation was good in that, but the lore, more importantly, the lore was insane in that. I had so many theories, that was fun. Same thing with episode 9 of season 2, right? It had so much lore. I love that episode. Also, episode 17 of season 2, which is the Norn episode. That episode broke me. That episode was so good. And then I'm trying to think which other episode really stood out compared to the rest. Wait, I have the list of episodes here. I don't remember them by like, I kind of forget which episode is which, but Broken Heart Mage. Some of the early episodes of season 2 were really good, like the Sarah episode, and the way that they were talking about all those things. And then I really like episode 7 and 8, which were really fun. Episode 6. Episode 6 was really good. That was the Julie episode of season 2. That was the Julie episode. I really like the Julie episode. That episode really hit me in the feels. The way that Rudy was able to recognize what it feels like to, you know, not want to live anymore, and that emptiness that you have in your eyes, and, you know, that was a fantastic episode. And yeah, the episodes after this, the figure episode where they were catching the beast women, and also the body episode, those are great episodes as well. But I think my favorites are 17 of season 2, 21 of season 1, and what else did I say? Episode 6 of season 2 maybe. Yeah, those were really good. So yeah. Oh, and episode 9 of season 2, that's it. Episode 9, which is the entire Nanahoshi episode. Yeah, those are, I think, my favorite episodes of this. It's a fantastic show. Just seeing the, not just character progression of Rudius, but also the other characters like Paul, like Norn, right? Even Aisha, how she developed, and stuff like that. Sylphie, how she grew. All those things is just fantastic to watch. Obviously, the animation in this is stellar. It's absolutely S tier. It's insane the amount of the production values of this are so high. Also, the OST, holy, it's so good. And the voice acting. Who voices Norn, man? Who voices Norn? Because, Jesus Christ, in this episode right here that we saw, the entire Norn crash out was kind of insane. Kind of a generational crash out, not gonna lie. Let me check Norn. Norn. Aizawa Saya. Aizawa Saya. She voices Ayano in Roshidere. And I think she voices... Not much that I've seen. Norn. Sherry in Eminence in Shadow, I guess. She voices Major Ardan in Umamusume. But yeah, not much. She did a fantastic job. I mean, all of them did. I think the voice acting in this show is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, that's about it. I love the show. I really like the show. I got really invested in the show, if you guys couldn't tell. I was watching every single recording. I was gonna have like 3 episodes to record or something, which is like a week's worth of episodes. And then I ended up watching like 5 of them. So that's why I ended up being so far ahead, because I just couldn't stop watching. It's such a good show. So yeah, I got very invested in every single aspect of it. It's a show that really makes you think about stuff. I haven't thought about any of those or many of those things that they've talked about here, right? I haven't had to think about them. So kind of like trying to think about them here on camera and trying to think, what do I feel about that kind of thing? How do I feel, especially here towards the end where it's talking about like a polygamous relationship? I don't know how I feel about polygamous relationship, like in all seriousness like this, right? When you watch a harem show, you're like, oh yeah, of course, haha, funny. But when you watch it like being portrayed seriously like this, I'm like, how am I supposed to feel about this? I haven't encountered this in IRL, so how am I supposed to feel about it when they're trying to present it in this way, you know? So all the things that I say here on camera are just maybe like a scattered mess because I'm trying to organize my thoughts because I haven't had to think about this kind of thing, but it's fun, you know, it's fun. Hopefully you guys had fun with, you know, going along on this kind of journey with me as well, on trying to organize my thoughts on this kind of thing and seeing what I feel about it. I don't know if I conveyed everything that I wanted to say in all the episodes that I've released here, but hopefully I did. I think I remember saying some stuff that I think I agree with. So I think hopefully it came out the way that I wanted it to. The way that I wanted it to. Anyways, before we end this video, I want to check out the opening because I haven't seen the opening from season 2 because I've been skipping it all this time. And after episode 22, it's supposedly where it becomes spoiler free. And in episode 23, it doesn't show it anymore. So I want to quickly check it out here, the visuals of it. I'm going to mute it on YouTube though. But I want to check out the visuals. I've listened to it many times. Does it show Paul dying in this? That would be kind of diabolical. It goes so hard. Oh. Or does it show Rudy and Roxy together or something along those lines? Because that would be big spoilers. Actually, it wouldn't show Roxy and Rudy together. That's episode 23. Pum. Here we go, the Hydra fight. Okay. It's going well. Okay. Okay, it's heavily implied. I see. If you analyze the opening, the pause that is heavily implied. I see. The arm guards, the goodbye fist bumps and stuff. It's implied. I see. That's why you wanted me to avoid it. That's smart. I like that. Same thing with the season 1 or season 2 opening 1, right? Where it's heavily implied that Norn and Rudius find a way to get along. Actually, was that the ending? No, that was the ending of season 2, part 2, right? Where it's implied that Norn and Rudius get along and they, you know, they show it kind of like in the ending of them studying together. So if you watch it before episode 17, you can kind of like infer that something's gonna happen where they're gonna get along better. So yeah, I guess I would consider that a spoiler. For me, I prefer not watching it if that's what's being shown in the opening, right? But yeah, anyways, that was yeah, that was a cool opening. I think I said everything that I wanted to say. I guess did I talk about like my favorite characters in this show? I don't know who my favorite characters are anymore, honestly. It's so tough. I think my favorite characters, like, I like Geese a lot. I like the chill guys, the chill characters in this. Geese, Sophie is great. Sophie is the best. As I glazed Sophie enough. Cliff, my goat, absolutely love him. Rudyard, the absolute undeniable goat. I think he's my number one actually. Rudy is just, I mean, Rudy is obviously a cop-out, but he is the best written character. He has the most focus as well. And then after that, I like all the characters, by the way, but I'm trying to think like who stand out head and shoulders above the rest. I also like Buddy. I like Buddy. I don't know what kind of beef he has with Rudyard, but I really like him. And Norn. I think Norn, I love Norn as a character. I really like Norn as a character. Norn is definitely one of my favorites. I really like her. She's great. But yeah, that's about it. Actually, Matt from editing here. Honorable mention to Aries. I forgot to include her in this because she wasn't really present in the season. So out of sight, out of mind. But big ups to my girl Aries. I think she's also an incredibly well written character that I wish I talked a bit more about here in the ending thoughts section. But definitely up there as my top 3 characters in the entire show, maybe top 4. Absolutely love the way that she was written. Obviously has a bit of a leaves a sour taste in your mouth after the ending of season 1, but obviously everything is by design, and I'm sure in the upcoming seasons we're gonna see a lot of that be dispelled and a lot of that be talked over. But Aries definitely should be mentioned here, so I'm mentioning her now in the post-production during editing. That's about it. That's kind of a soft ranking of that. Also favorite seasons, I guess, if we're already here, if we're yapping, favorite seasons. What's the favorite season of mine? I would have said season 2 part 2 before this arc, before the final 2 episodes. As I said, I don't think the final 2 episodes are bad. I need to let them sit a bit, I think I need to let them sit a bit, and then decide on how I feel about them. Right now, maybe season 2 part 1? Yeah, actually it's definitely that. It had episode 6, 7, 8, 9. Yo, those episodes were bangers, and then episode 12 as well. It was such an emotional one, right? Yeah, I think it's actually season 2 part 1. It's my favorite season. Yeah, for sure. I love that season. So yeah. Oh, Soul. I also love Soul Dad. He's a bro as well. Anyways, that's it. So hope you guys enjoyed. I know I've been yapping a lot here. I know I've been getting very invested in this show, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. But anyways, if you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in Mushoku Tensei Season 3 in July. Peace.